Hello everyone, welcome back once again. It's Nick here, we're on the Commodore Amiga. I'm looking at a game called Motorbike Madness, which was published by Mastertronic in 1988. It's an obstacle avoiding game as we go down a slope, a bit like Marble Madness I suppose, but on a motorbike instead. Also came out in the Amstrad CPC, the Atari ST, Commodore 64, DOS and the ZX Spectrum, and we reviewed it on the ZX Spectrum, and I found it very tricky to control. So we'll see how the Amiga version compares there. The front end looks nothing special. The font looks pretty standard, so here we go. Right, it looks pretty iffy straight away. Oh god, and my screen is flashing, so that might just be my version, so try and ignore that. Now I can change the speed up and down, you see on that red bar there, and it's just as tricky as the Spectrum version, although with a bit of colour. I'm not liking it so far. It's doing my eyes in already. Maybe look away from the screen. That's a good review, isn't it? Right, accelerate over here. The course looks exactly the same as the Spectrum version. There's a time ticking down in the top right. That goes to 0 before we completed the course. It's game over. Or if we crash too many times, it's also game over because the bike is wrecked. Right, so I suppose the colour's making it slightly easy to control, and because I played the Spectrum version, it's making it there. But the game isn't very good. Right, okay, maybe I'll get a bit better on it as we go along. It just looks very 8-bit. It looks like a coloured in 8-bit game, and you just have to be a little bit precise. When you die though, unlike the Spectrum version, there's a small bit of invincibility. You can go over the obstacles you were struggling to get past before. Maybe I can get a bit further here, but I'm not enjoying this at all. If you had this game back in the day, then let me know. This is newbie play, I will remind people, so not expert gameplay, we know this. Dodgy gameplay, nincompoop chap, trying to stress bust. Seeing another game played back in the day, would have been enough there for you want to play it. And so far, I can't see much evidence of me wanting to play it. I'm not sure what would have scored back in the day, but compared to what else was available, not very well. It was 1988 though, that's the start of the 16-bit era, so some of the games then were looking a bit like boosted 8-bit games, and maybe we can forgive it for that. But from a historical point of view, when we've got the whole Commodore Amiga catalogue to look back on, this is awful. Oh man. Yes, I want to get out of here. Now if you weren't here, I would have turned it off by now, but we'll have a few goes. Yes, 3% of the course completed, so you can see how far I got. Hardly anywhere, so the course is quite long. I've got disqualified. Well, there we go. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It's about seeing the good games, the bad games, the mediocre games. A lot of them are bad, though, on the Commodore Amiga. I mean, there's some creme to the creme at the top, and there's loads and loads of bad ones where quality control just went outside the window. Why did it do that? We do not know. Maybe they just wanted as many games as possible. Buff. Right, okay. Now the only reason you would have bought this is if I'd imagine you had it on an 8-bit game beforehand, like the Commodore 64, the Amstrad CPC, or the Spectrum, and you liked it for some reason, and you just upgraded to 16-bit, and then once you upgrade the game as well. Well, quite often it didn't tally that you got a better game. It's better coloured in. The tracks, for what I can remember, are the same, so maybe you would have liked it. But yes, you need nostalgia for this, or that's it. Fuel ticking down in the left as well, so that's another way you can lose all your lives. Running out of fuel. Fuel seems to go down regardless, even if the bike has stopped. This game is bad. Bad sound, bad movement, bad graphics. My version of the screen keeps cutting up every now and again, flashing. Apart from that, well, there's nothing. Can you say anything good about this game? I don't know. I tried. You say, Nick, why didn't you just try a different ROM, a different version? Because this is being emulated. I've tried a few different versions, a few different settings. My screen is flashing. So if you had this back in the day, it probably wouldn't have flashed. But even then, it's still annoying. And that go was even shorter. Get me out of here. I hate this game. It's wretched. It's awful. It's poor. If you want a game like this, go for Marble Madness, which is a lot better, in my opinion. They come out on the Spectrum though, didn't it, and a few others. The game also came out on DOS. Don't know if it's the same on that. It probably is, but it just looks so basic. I mean, why is it so square? The Commodore Amiga can do a lot. There's no need to make it square. There's no memory to save, and to say how much memory is this using in total that the Amiga's got, a very small percentage. At least make it a little bit curvy. If you're going to do a 16-bit conversion, make it better. Make it better than 8-bit, don't just reskin the thing. And that's what it is. It's a rather lazy reskin that offers nothing more. Well, I'm trying to go this way now, over this mud thing. I don't think that's going to help. Yes, there we go. You hit water and your bike explodes. That's what always happens, isn't it? If you've got a motorbike and hit water and your motorbike's exploded, then comment below, is that quite similar? If you want to see other Commodore Amiga stuff, not all games are this bad. This might be the poorest game, one of the poorest games I've played, I think. But yeah, if you, that's saying something. We've reviewed practically about 600 Commodore Amiga games. If you want to see them all, we're in a playlist. There's a link to those in the description below. If you want to see everything ever, then click on my username, takes to the channel page. Across the top is some tabs. Click on the playlist tab and everything will be there. Be warned though, it will take you quite a few months to get through the whole lot. If you have seen the whole lot, then well done you. That gives you a good overview of what games are what. So we haven't reviewed everything ever, but we reviewed a huge chunk. You know, what can we do? Still a few good Amiga games out there that I haven't covered yet for me to look at if I can get workable versions. Right, let's go full speed, see what happens there. Yeehaw! Well, that was good fun. That was a good old jump. Mirror's touch for a tree. Will I die? No, that's quite generous through there, I suppose. Too basic for me. Too basic. If you compare it to games that are also follow a similar, well, look at Hunter. You know, that shows what can be done. It is madness. It's madness to play that. That Motorbike Madness looks like it's just been pulled from a set of public domain fonts and just slapped there. The font below, that's just a standard font. It's not doing anything. It's no graphics. Presentation is poor. Music is sort of okay, but could do a bit of extra bass in there. Basically, we've got the same thing. If you can get past this course, there will be other ones you're presented with. Maybe if they put an editor, that made it be a bit interesting. Could have done that because it's basically all squares. Just arrange it how you wanted to. That might have lifted it ever so slightly, but there's no real reason to play it now. Back in the day, if you got addicted to it or played the 8-bit version, you would have done. But as a new purchase, if you've got a brand new Commodore Amiga, don't play this. It's not showing off in its best light. It's sort of thing. I could have got away with it. It would have been a cover disc. Put the full game on there, that would have been okay. Played it for a bit, and then to up your excitement, have a go with your calculator. But 6 adds 6 is 12, something like that. That's about the same level, but this is not really happening. We aim the views to be about 10 minutes long, just to get a bit of an overview. Bear in mind, I am newbie, so there might be a few things I'm missing, a few obvious things I'm not getting the hang of. This is a reflection there. There might be some comments below, or you might have put one in about some other stuff I can do if you particularly like the game or played it a lot. There's something to be said for those few games you had in the box, to say, because if you just had a few games in your box there and played this a lot, you probably got a lot out of it, and it's all about, you know, reliving the memories of where you were as a person back in those days as well. Quite often you had quite a lot of less stress, so you know, you might have been a marvel at this one and thinking, Nicky, get a version that works. Well, I couldn't find one. But it's essentially showing you the game. If only there was a filter I could take it off. So sorry if your eyeballs have gone completely insane in the membrane, but that's basically what's going on here. Right. I don't know what you owned. I owned an Amiga 500. Now upgraded it to the megabyte with the expansion below. You might have had a 600 which come later, or you might have even had an Amiga 1200 with the AGA chipset, or one of the other advanced one, a 2000 or a 3000 there. Maybe you had a hard drive clipped onto the side. Let me know what was your Commodore Amiga setup. You might still have that setup. Let us know what you had going on there. What other upgrades did you do? I think I had another upgrade with the ROMs. It was a 1.3 Amiga ROM that I had there with my system, but I did get a 2.04 ROM as well for some reason, just to be flash. So every time you set it, it flipped between the two ROMs, so 1.3 then 2.04, which was quite good. I had a disk drive as well, right? External hard drive, I mean. External disk drive, there we go. So I had two drives essentially, which helped me for games like Test Drive 2, where I didn't have to keep changing the disc, and that was probably one of the games I played the most. Terrible frame rate back then, but you know, quite like a few games in the box again. But Test Drive 2 was cool, much better than this thing. That atmosphere. This is lacking soul, really. This is lacking soul. Yes, James Brown, not enough soul. Right, what happened there? Oh, I just ran out of time today. I was trying to go slower, but I ran out of time. Well, you know, I completed 8% this time, so I'm terrible at the game. Basically, what you've just seen is someone being terrible. A terrible game with bizarre, off the tangent, insane chat. Well, what can I say about that? Let's have just one last go. Why am I having last one go? I don't know. We'll try and go quickly here. Ba-ba-da-ba, 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 ba-ba-da-ba. Oh man. It's nice green grass. Why did I have another go for? That was enough. That was enough for a full review. Oh, I don't know. If you're still here, you're probably as silly as me. Well done, you. If you are as silly as me, well done. But then comment in the comment section below. I need your comments. It's great activity on the channel. Yes, I mean, if you've been going through the Amiga playlist, then well done, you. Right. You know, my style has gradually changed over the years, I'd imagine. Probably got stupider. A lot more confident with the microphone. Yes, you know, we've got a community here. People have come and gone over the years. First of all, when I started the channel, it was just amazing anyone was watching or commenting at all. People that were commenting then now seem to have gone. People move on, and then new people turn up. That's you. Well done, new person. Or if you've been here a while, then well done as well. Right. I suppose an expert would go through this on full speed, wouldn't they? Going to the end. Bearing in mind, I only got to about 8%. 8%. God. If you did an exam and scored 8%, you wouldn't be very happy with that, would you? Oh, God. Yes. Maybe I need an airplane. Just fly over the whole map and do it that way. I wouldn't have minded if there was a map you could bring up which shows you how far you got. Press spacebar or something. It pulls the game and put a map over the top with an X, like the map you get in a shopping centre, which says you are here with a big arrow. That would have been quite nice to see how far you were, or maybe a practice mode without the timer. That might be good as well. So lots of ways to make this game better, but they didn't do it. Well done them. Oh God, we gotta get out of this place. If it's the last thing we ever do. Life has a better place for me and you, and I hope so, because if we were tracking this game forever, oh, the bike's exploded. I'm not going to get another one. Yes. Anyway, awful game. Hated the thing. Played terribly. My version was rubbish as well. Hated it. Anyway, you might disagree. Hope you'll have a look at that video anyway, that game. That was Motorbike Madness on the Commodore Amiga, published by Mastertronic in 1988. Can you comment out this game, similar games, or anything retro or Amiga, then put that in the comment section below. You're more than welcome. Until next time, take great care of yourself, and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, we've got the whole Commodore Amiga catalogue to look back on. This is awful. Oh man.